Okay, in this video, we're going to talk through how to approach Question 1 and Question 3 for Component 2 of Eduqas English Language. To do that, we'll look at a couple of student responses to a set of questions, so don't be afraid to pause the video if you need time to read through anything on screen. Remember, these questions ask you to locate answers within a text. The first set of questions are from the 21st century text, and the second set are from the 19th century text. Each set of questions is worth 3 marks, so 6 marks in total. First, let's take a look at the questions for the 21st century text on our Eduqas Style Component 2 exam paper. The first step is to decode each question before you begin to read through the first source for the answers. Remember, these keywords are huge indicators of what you're looking for when reading through the extract. Use them to help you locate the answers. Now let's look at how student A has done. Student A came close to achieving full marks. They received 2 marks out of the possible 3. This is because of their first answer, which they didn't get a mark for. If we look at the text, we can see the answer is clearly written. Barnum claimed she was 161 years old. Instead of using the information in the text as it was, student A has worked harder than they needed to, focusing on the part of the text which says she was half that, and rewording the answer. For these questions, the answer is always in the text, you just need to find it. But they did better on the second 2 questions. They've used the keywords from the question to guide their answer to 1B, correctly identifying from the text that the answer is 1932. For 1C, there are 2 potential former employees in the text to choose from, Johnny Eck and Prince Randian. Student A has written down one of them, so gets the mark here too. Now let's take a look at student B's responses. As you can see, student B has achieved full marks here, 3 out of 3. To help them focus their answers, they've written in full sentences using keywords from the questions. To be precise, they've also given the measurement, years old, for question A, and an alternative name for Johnny Eck, the half-boy, for question C. Without the measurement in answer B, they wouldn't have received the mark. Student B doesn't make presumptions about the examiner's knowledge. They want to make sure the examiner knows they have a secure understanding of the questions and answers. But you don't have to write full sentence answers for this type of question. If you feel confident enough that you've accurately decoded the question and your answers are focused, don't worry about using full sentences. Instead, simply give the answer. This will save you some time to earn more marks on the bigger questions. Now we've looked at list questions for the 21st century text, let's move on to the 19th century one. Remember, it's the exact same process as before. Our questions here are, how much did Tom Thumb weigh? What was the small child's own name? And on which day did they arrive in New York? Let's look at student A's responses. So, unfortunately, student A has only received 1 out of the possible 3 marks. This is simply because questions B and C, they haven't decoded the question or used the keywords to help locate the information in the text. Looking at the text, we can see that their answer for question A is correct, so they'd get 1 mark. The student is specific in their answer here, even including the phrase less than. If they didn't include this, so it just read, he weighed 16 pounds, they wouldn't have got the mark. But they didn't do as well on the next 2 questions. With answers B and C, they've located the wrong information. For answer B, they've used the father's name, not the young child's. The text says, he was the son of Sherwood E. Stratton. Notice the phrase, son of. They should have used the phrase, own name, which is in the question and in the text to help them retrieve the correct information. In answer C, they've not given the day as the question asks. Instead, they gave a date. They should have used the keyword day in the question to find the answer, Thanksgiving Day. Now let's take a look at student B's response and see how it differs. Student B has done really well here. They've retrieved all of the required information accurately from the source. Because they're confident in the selection of evidence, having decoded the question and used the keywords from it to guide their answers, they simply state the answers rather than writing in full sentences. That's perfectly acceptable, and they get all 3 possible marks. So let's leave it there. To get some more practice in, why not source your own non-fiction extracts and create some quick 1-markers? Try to mix this up with both 19th and 21st century extracts. Good luck!